Hey guys, so welcome to my channel. So this is one of the most amazing videos I'll be making for you guys on trend following. A lot of you guys know me on this channel. I'm a master in following trend. I love the trend. The trend is my friend. I don't do anything against the trend. I don't try to offend the trend. I just follow the trend. And I've told you guys that trend following is the simplest style of trade. It is the oldest form of trading. It is the simplest and it makes the most money. It's just simple. Follow the trend. So in this video I'll be teaching you how I actually follow the trend, because a lot of people think they are following the trend but they are really not following the trend. I'll be teaching how I do multiple time frame analysis and how I actually find a bias for the trend and how to spot a trend even with trend before the trend actually starts happening. It's really a simple form of trading that will make you all the money. There's no need to be trying to be smart in this market. You don't need to be smart. You don't need to try to reinvent the wheel. Before you came to this market, you already had a trend. Okay, before you slept, woke up in the night, this morning, the market was already moving in a particular direction. So it's just wisdom to follow whatever direction the market is going. That's simple. Make your money easy peasy. So I'll be sharing with you an amazing secret that will help you actually follow the trend. Okay, so that said, we'll jump into my chart shortly, but before we do that, if this is your first time actually coming to my channel, or if you've been here before but you're yet to subscribe, man, I'd love you to click on the subscribe button. Subscribe to my channel. I bring amazing premium content on this channel every single week, and if you doubt me, check out my channel. You would definitely learn something like really amazing on this channel. So that said, click notification icon so that I do not get to miss amazing content like this every single week. And that said, smash the like button. So give us a thumbs up. Let's dive into this video like right now. So welcome to my screen. Now there are 4 things that you need to take note of if you are looking forward to following a trend. There are 4 things that you must actually take note of before you actually enter a trend and hoping to actually ride a trend. Okay, these are the most important things that will make you money if you're actually looking forward to following a trend. Okay, it's really simple. I'll run through that very fast and then we'll move right into the chart. Now, number one is this. Number one is what time frame are you looking forward to actually following the trend? Because this question, you need to answer this question, because every single time frame will not be doing the same thing at every single time. For instance, a 4-hour time frame can be on on a long-term buy, okay, on a long-term uptrend, but a 1-hour time frame can be telling you that it's actually selling. Okay, it is possible that on a weekly time frame it can actually be a downtrend, and on a 4-hour time frame it looks like an uptrend. So the question is, what time frame are you looking forward to actually following the trend? Are you following the trend that is happening on the 4 hours, or are you following the trend happening on the 1 hour, or are you following the trend happening on the weekly? Okay, now this is a question that you definitely need to answer. Now at the TradeWave Bootcamp, I teach them how to do multiple time frame analysis, and it's very simple. How to do that is very simple. Find out the trend on a higher time frame. We called it the higher time frame, the middle time frame, and the execution time frame. You find out the trend on a higher time frame, you find out the trend on the middle time frame, and you find out the trend on on the execution time frame, which is a time frame that you're actually going to be following the trend. Okay, now this is just my method of doing the multiple time frame analysis. Okay, now how this helps you is that you need to find out what time frame am I actually following. Okay, am I following the trend on daily, on the 4 hours, or on the 1 hour, or on the weekly? So this is something you need to predetermine, because if you don't get this fixed, if you don't settle this before you actually enter a trade, you might enter a trade on you might go long, that's buy, on a 4-hour time frame, and by the time you scale out, maybe go larger, go to, let's say, a weekly time frame or a daily time frame, and you see that okay, the trend is actually sell, you might start second guessing yourself, start doubting, okay, are you sure that this my buy position is actually going to work? After all, the higher time frames are selling. So this is something that you need to settle before you enter the trade, so that you don't second guess yourself, because truth is, all the time frames cannot be doing the same thing at the same time, and the truth is, you can make money following the trend on any time frame, regardless of what is happening on any other time frame. Okay, so you need to learn how to do the multiple time frame analysis. Okay, but I've already explained to you, giving the simple definition of what that means. Find out what at least 3 time frames are doing. Let's say the H4, H1, M15, or the weekly, the daily, the H4, but 3 consecutive time frames. Find out what they are doing and make sure you're following the trend happening on the 3 of them. That's the first thing. What's the time frame? Now, number 2 thing that you actually need to take note of is what strategy. What is my strategy of following this trend? Okay, now I made a video on this channel where I talked about how to trend following secrets. I talked about how to use the moving average to follow trend, how to use the Fibonacci, and how to use the support and resistance method to follow a trend. Okay, so you need to answer this question: what strategy are you looking for to enter the trend with? Because this will help you to actually settle your entries and your exits. Because if you don't have a particular strategy for actually following the trend, you might just be you might just be guessing. It's just, you're gambling. That's just the fact. Okay, so are you following the trend using the Fibonacci retracement, or you're following it to a retracement on the moving average, or are you following it with the support and resistance? What is your strategy for following the trend? You need to settle that. Okay, that's it. Now, number 3 thing you need to actually settle is how long is the trend? Oh, sorry, let me type this very well. How long is the trend? You need to tell yourself, and you need to find out how long is this trend going to last, okay? And for how far. For instance, if you're going on buy on a 4-hour time frame, you need to find out how many pips is this likely to rally, because the weekly time frame might be indicating that, okay, the buy happening on the 4 hours is getting close to a resistance on the weekly time frame. Okay, but the short-term buyers is actually buy, and the market will actually buy. So the question is, how long do I have from what is happening on the 4-hour time frame, which is buying? How many pips do I have before this thing actually hits the resistance that I'm actually seeing on the weekly time frame? That helps you to actually settle your risk to reward. Because if you have like let's say 100 pips before it hits the resistance on the weekly time frame, if you have like 100 pips to go, it helps you to set your risk reward, because you won't enter a trade that is like 50-50. You understand? You can't put a 50 pips stop loss and let's say 50 pips. That's if you're hoping to take a 50 pips take profit position. You won't be risking 1:1. Okay, definitely you need to be risking 1:2, because you have 100 pips. Okay, cool. So you can risk around 30 pips to make 100 pips, or 50 pips to make 100 pips, which is definitely really good. So you need to settle and find out how long the trend is going to last for you to be able to actually set in your risk to reward correctly and enter the trend the best possible price. Okay, now the 4th thing and the last thing you need to settle before you actually enter a trade is, what is my exit strategy? What is my exit strategy? What is my exit strategy? Now you need to actually settle this too, because using the example I just shared with you guys, it is possible that if you're on a buy on a 4-hour time frame and on a weekly time frame is getting closer to a resistance which you're not seeing on a 4-hour time frame, it is possible that the market can actually reverse and start going down, doing the reverse of your initial position, which is buy. You can reverse and start going back even before reaching the resistance on the weekly time frame. So what do you do in that kind of case? Okay, so these are things you need to point out in time, even before entering the trade. You need to tell yourself, okay, if this actually happens, if I see this happen, maybe if I see a long wick here, or a long bullish candle, a long bearish candle, or if I see a head and shoulders pattern, it tells me that my trend following has been invalidated and it's time to exit the trade, whether it has hit my take profit or not. Okay, because of course it's better to leave with a little profit than to lose the trading position. So you need to have an exit strategy. What should happen to tell you that your trading analysis has been invalidated and that you should get out of that trade as soon as possible? Okay, so these are the 4 things that you need to take note of. Now let's step into the chart. Let me show you. I'll just give you one example of how this works. Of course I would not love to spill out everything that we teach at the Trade Wave Bootcamp. It would totally be unfair to my students, but however, let me show you how this actually works. Now, for instance, I shared an analysis with you guys yesterday on the Euro GBP. I told you guys that I'm bullish on Euro GBP, and I told you guys that Euro GBP would probably rally to you around this point, which is already happening. Okay, now the thing is, using the 4 things actually marked up for you. For instance, I did a weekly, daily, and 4-hour time frame analysis on this. The weekly is on buy, the weekly is, it's going by, the daily is going by, then the 4-hour time frames gave me an opportunity, which I shared with you guys on the weekly analysis yesterday. The video is on this channel. If you have not watched it, please go ahead and watch it after watching this video. Okay, so the thing is, on this particular trade, on this particular currency pair, I'm looking forward to following the trend happening on the weekly time frame. That is my bias. It is a weekly time frame that gave me a bias for this trade, but however, I am executing this trade on a 4-hour time frame. Okay, my entry is on a 4-hour time frame, but my bias is from the weekly time frame. Okay, because where we put our support and resistance, possible support and resistance levels, is on the weekly time frame. That's why we'll have this support. And I told you guys that a lot of liquidity, other blocks around this area, and this will possibly just trigger those other blocks is a possibility, right? But I told you guys, and I did this analysis, I shared this thing with you guys yesterday. Okay, so the trend I'm actually following, the time frame I'm actually trading off for this particular trade, the time frame that gave me the bias for this trade is the weekly time frame. Okay, so that's the time frame I'm actually following, and I'm actually hoping to follow the trend on, but I'm executing it, getting my entries and exit on the 4-hour time frame. Okay, that's simple. Now the second thing I explained is, what strategy am I looking forward to following for this particular trade? Now there are two things. If you've watched my video on trend following secrets, I shared with you there are 3 methods: the moving average and the Fibonacci method. On this particular following trend, on the particular strategy I'm using to follow the trend on this particular currency pair is both the moving average and the Fibonacci. Okay, I shared with you guys on that video that my best trading levels are the 61.8 and the 50%. As you can see on this particular trade, this is where the 61.8, let me do this on the 1 hour. I think it should be clearer on the 1 hour. Good. So as you can see, okay, I think it's better on the 4 hours. Okay, now as you can see on the 4 hours, this is where the market actually ended, and I saw these 2 long wicks, okay, from the 61.8 retracement level, telling me that there's actually pressure at the 61.8 level, and this market would definitely continue the trend from the 61.8 levels. And what happened? Boom, this is early hours of this Monday morning, and the market is already rallying. As we can see here, the market is already rallying. Okay, so my strategy for following the trend on this particular currency pair is actually the Fibonacci and the moving average. Okay, because this is clearly definitely bouncing off the 20 moving average. I share with you guys how to do this, so if you've not watched that video, you might need to go and watch it after now to understand some of these things I'm saying much more clearly. Okay, now how long is this trend going to last? I shared with you guys too yesterday. Okay, now we have like I think we measured it yesterday, we have like 70 pips till this happens. This is where the market ended. Let me use a ruler for this. Let's measure how many pips. This is where the market started, so we're here. So if we put a ruler here, we have about 130 pips approximately for this trade. So my risk to reward on this trade is actually 1:3. 1:3 on this trade. I told you guys that this was actually a good place to enter, and I'm looking to ride this to you whenever whenever we reach the resistance on the weekly time frame. Okay, so that's it for how long. Okay, now what is my exit strategy? This is like the most important part. If for any reason, this market gets to this point, and I see a resistance maybe down here, and I see a market push up again. Sorry, let me do this correctly. Now let's assume this market, this is where I entered, this market pushed up and it gets to this point, then gives me a lower low. But if it fails to give me a higher high, okay, or if it gives me a lower high, then gives me another lower low, I'm out of this trade. Okay, because my strategy has actually been invalidated, okay? Because I'm looking forward to this market just continually just grinding. I told you guys yesterday, continually grinding till we get to that resistance on the weekly time frame, okay? So it's really simple. You need to have an exit strategy. So I've showed you in this video how to follow the trend, the what time frame to follow, what strategy to follow the trend with, how long you should follow the trend, and what is your exit strategy. It's a very trend following will make you all the money in trading. Trend following has made me money, really good money, trust me, and is the simplest method of trading. I've told you guys multiple times on this channel, stop complicating things for yourself. Just follow the trend. Stop trying to be smart. Stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Stop trying to do something that does not exist in the market. Just follow the trend. You make a lot of money just following the trend. It's that simple. Okay, so if you've not watched that video where I talked about how to follow the trend and how to master secrets of trading, following the trend, the video will be linked somewhere here or here. I don't know where it will be linked, but somewhere here or here it will be somewhere. Okay, so I'll probably leave it as an end screen to this video so that you do not get to miss on it. Okay, so that's it. Cheers. If you're here to subscribe to this channel, please go ahead, click the subscribe button. I'll definitely appreciate that, and smash the notification icon so that I don't miss videos like this in the future. So that's it. Go ahead, watch this video here or here. I don't know where the video is, so somewhere. Go and watch it. Cheers.